And we're back, chat, episode 36 of the Hitters Meeting. This one, we get the evil empire. The Los Angeles Dodgers are rolling into town. As per usual, I got my buddy here, Coach Ken Anderson. How the heck are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. As we're taping this, the Phillies are getting their ass handed to them, which is good. And in honor of our former friend, this is the Eli White of Hip Coil, so I'm excited.
Old Eli White made an absolute stellar catch in that series in Los Angeles. If you guys remember, that saved a game, so shout out Eli White. We are getting three pretty daggum, well, I would say definitely two really good pitchers. One who's always had the potential to be really good, just can't figure it out this series. In game one, Ken, we are getting a pitcher who is coming off the IL. He's coming off I think he threw 2 or 3 rehab assignments for him. It is Mr. Tyler Glasnow, Ken. So what can you talk to me about Mr. Tyler Glasnow?
This will have nothing to do with the game. He's got great hair, and he is a very fascinating dude. I love to hear Tyler Glasnow even talk, but he's a very good pitcher. He has the kryptonite for us. He has a really good curveball. So I'm interested to see how you break him down and how we will attack him. I think also getting his pitch count up would be good and some stressful pitches. He may not be out there alone coming off rehab.
100%. That's going to be the big thing, as you heard. Chat, he is coming off injury, so he is not going to be at you go out there and go get him, kiddo. It's going to be let's see how many stressful pitches. Well, he's through 4, but he's at 65 pitches. He was really stressed out, so do we send him back out? So it's going to be one of those starts for him. So it's going to be really important for the Braves to actually keep him in the strike zone instead of just kind of just having the crappy at-bats that they've been having. So let's go over his repertoire. Fastball, slider, curveball, and a sinker. I didn't even know he threw a sinker, by the way. I knew the other 3. I did not remember the sinker. Elite extension, so his velocity plays 2 to 3 miles per hour higher. So if he's throwing 98, it's really closer to 100, 101. But right now, I think his average has been around 95, 96. He's coming off the IL, so I'm sure he'll be a little juiced up. So he'll probably be hitting 96, 97. Keep that in mind. Right-handed hitters, he's going to attack you with a four-seamer up. Sinkers are going to be inside on your hands, and he's going to try to backdoor some of the sinkers, so he's going to try to catch the outside corner. And then he's going to throw a lot of sliders and curveballs down and away to try to get you to expand on your strike zone. Lefties, he's going to attack you with a four-seam fastball up in the zone, front door sinkers, and back foot curveballs. He doesn't really throw the slider to you guys too much, so you get those 3 pitches. Righties, you get all 4 of them, unfortunately. The tendencies that I did pick up on Tyler Glasnow, he seems to really try to put hitters away with his curveball. Not saying he won't throw a slider or a heater in a 2-strike count, but it's very noticeable he relies on the curveball. I think it was like 60 or 70% that he went to the curveball, and especially in 0-2, 1-2 counts. It kind of leveled back out a little bit once you got to 2-2 and 3-2, but 0-2 and 1-2, it was like 50 to 60% just curveball. So keep that in mind. He relies on his four-seamer and sinker combo when he's behind in the count. Doesn't matter whether it's righty or lefty. He goes fastball when he's behind in the count. The only other oddity that stuck out to me was he goes really heavy on the slider and 1-1 count to right-handed hitters. So righties, if you're feeling frisky and you feel like sitting on a pitch in a certain count, slider, 1-1, you might as well because it's pretty high up there. It's like 65%. He throws 1-1 count sliders. So not saying he will all the time, but could be a decent spot to look for a slider. Right-handed approach. We are going to hunt the four-seam fastball and sinker window and the hanging breaking ball window. For the four-seam fastball and sinker, our window is going to start on the outside corner to the middle part of the plate. Belt high to high thigh. For the hanging breaking ball, you're going to want it to start at you, inside off of the plate to the inner third, above the strike zone to the belt. 2 strikes, obviously, you have to expand, but until then, keep your windows locked here. Get the baseball up in the strike zone. His fastball is hittable at the top of the zone. I promise you, if Estuary Ruiz can hit a freaking tank off him at a fastball at the top of the zone, you guys can do the same exact thing. and the breaking balls become a lot flatter. They could become, I mean, they flatten straight out to where it's like a BP fastball from a high school pitcher. So keep that in mind. Get the ball up. Everything flattens out a little bit, and you can really do some damage. Keep your direction to right center field. Do not expand your windows, and make him pitch to where you want him to be pitched. Don't expand your zone low. He's going to try to get you to chase the slider and curveball out of the zone. Get him up in the zone. You can catch up to the fastball. You guys are a good fastball hitting team. So believe in that. And when you see the breaking ball up in the zone and it's hanging, crush it. There's no reason why you guys can't hit glass now, but you got to keep him in your zone. Have the approach. Don't expand upon it. Don't chase away. Don't chase up. Don't chase down. Keep him right where you want him, and you should have a lot of success. But if you don't and you start chasing his crap, it's going to be a really long day until he gets out of the game. Lefties, you're going to have the same approach as right-handed hitters. You're going to hunt the four-seamer and sinker window and the hanging breaking ball window. For the four-seam fastball and sinker, our window is going to start on the inside corner to the middle part of the plate, belt to high thigh. For the hanging breaking ball, we want it to start off the plate away to the middle part of the plate, above the zone to the belt. Again, 2 strikes. You can change your approach because it's 2 strikes. Got to be a little bit more defensive. Get the ball up in the zone. Attack the fastball up. Attack the hanging breaking ball. Don't chase anything off the plate away or down. And you should do extremely well against Mr. Glasnow. He does not have a changeup, and I think that plays extremely well for our left-handed hitters. Everything's going to be either breaking into you or it's going to be the fastball away from you and at the top of the zone. And I think Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin, Mike Yastrzemski, those 3 guys really need to come through for the Braves in this game if we're going to have success, because this is your guy. This is your guy that you got to hit. He's going to throw fastballs. He's going to throw spin that's breaking into you, so make sure you do some damage, my good fellas. Ken, that is what I got on Mr. Glasnow. You got anything else?
No, I mean, the key here is to get his pitch count up and get him out of there. Their bullpen is the one, I guess you're going to call a weak spot of a dynamic team is the bullpen, so we can get him out of there. I also like Michael Harris in this matchup. He had spin coming toward him very well. So I do like the fact you think the left-handers may hit him. I think they may.
Yes, I forgot about my bad, Mike. I forgot about you, my boy. All right, rolling on to game 2. This is the one where me and Ken are dead set on that we think we can absolutely crush Roki if we have the correct approach. So you heard it, Roki Sasaki in game 2. Ken, what you got on Mr. Sasaki?
All we have to do is lay off that splitter key. Don't throw it for strikes. So if you can pick it up and let it go and just sit on his fastball. Now, he's pitched way better in the second half than he did in the first half. But with that said, I do think we can hit this guy.
I agree 100%, and I will say he has reined in his splitter a little bit. It's not quite breaking too much to where it's going to be a little bit trickier. So it's going to be a little bit more like it was in that postseason. So let me go ahead and pull my stats up right here. All right, he's only got 3 pitches, chat. Fastball can't hit 101, 102. He's got the splitter, as you saw, and a slider. His slider, he doesn't throw much. It's more of a let me change up the hitter's eyesight a little bit and let me get this over just to give him a different look type pitch. So both righties and lefties are going to see all 3 pitches at about the same percentage. Righties see an uptick in the slider and a decrease in the fastball. That's really the only difference. His tendencies, he's going to become basically a 4-seam fastball and splitter pitcher in 2 strike counts. He uses the sliders to give hitters a different look, like I said, maybe get ahead in the count to flip a breaking ball in there when guys are looking for the 0-0 heater. But other than that, he's fastball split, which is why he really excelled in the postseason last year, by the way. Screams closer, but I don't think the Dodgers are ready to give up on him. For both hitters, solely hunt the heater. Reason why is because if you see any change in direction of the ball and it starts in the zone, it's got to be an auto take because it's not going to be a strike. So I will say this, he has decreased a little bit of his movement on a split. If the split starts at the very top of the strike zone, it's going to clip the very bottom of the strike zone. But in my opinion as a hitter, that's not something I want to swing at unless I have 2 strikes. If I'm 0-0 or 0-1 or whatever other count and I don't have 2 strikes, I'm taking the pitch and I'm going to get a fastball somewhere in the strike zone. All right, so off speed has way too much movement. Yep, stay in the strike zone. You want the fastball to start belt high to mid-thigh in height, inner third to outer third. This is for both hitters. Any change of direction in this window is an auto take because it's going to be either the split that's going to hit the dirt or the slider that's going to hit the dirt. Both pitches have way too much movement for them to start middle of the zone to stay in it. It's going to fall straight out, so just take it. Righties, you're going to want the split to start above the zone and on the outside corner to the middle part of the plate because this split kind of fades back into you. The slider, you want to start above the zone at you to the inner third of the plate and at the belt. So you either the lowest you want either of these pitches to start is the belt. Everything else has to start above the strike zone for it to fall back into the strike zone. Lefties, kind of the same thing. You want the split to start at you off the plate inside to the inner third, again, above the zone to the belt. Slider, you want to start off of the plate away to the outer third and above the zone to the belt. If you guys really keep your direction to right center field as right-hand hitters, left center field as a left-handed hitter, I think you're going to have a lot of success because if that split just flops right in the zone and you're sitting left center field, you're going to be able to get the barrel out in front of it and pull it for a homer. Righties, same way, except you'll probably pull it to left center field. But if you keep your direction to the big part of the field, you make him get the ball up. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to hit 100 miles an hour, but if you better be dang certain that you can identify his fastball and his split completely differently if you're going to start chasing down in the zone. Because if you do that and you aren't reading it very well, he's going to eat you up with the splitter and slider. So get him up in the zone, identify the fastball, and crush it. And if you want to, you can probably sit on the splitter and just wait for it to hang if you don't feel comfortable hitting 100 miles an hour up. He's going to throw a hanging split. You don't know when, but he will probably at one of your at-bats. So if you want to be ready for that one pitch, be ready for it. You could do that as well. This would be a really good guy if you just feel comfortable sitting a pitch each at bat. Just sit that pitch, and when you get it, don't miss it. Chipper was very famous for doing that at times, so you could do that against him as well, but I don't think he's going to be that hard to hit, Ken. Do you have anything else on Mr. Roki Sasaki?
Yeah, part of the reason like sitting on one pitch is why I think we'll do well. Not as much on him, but on the matchup itself. These are two guys. AJ Smith-Shawver is going to take the bump for us. These are two guys who desperately want to be starting pitchers in the postseason. And I think both clubs, GMs, and managers are going to look at this start. And then whoever pitches well in the start could be pitching in the postseason, either AJ or Roki. If not, they're definitely going to go to the bullpen.
I can 100% agree on that. Oh, by the way, chat, he walks a shit ton of people talking about Roki right here. Get him in the strike zone. Guys, don't chase outside of the zone. Get his pitch count up. Get into the bullpen because their bullpen is not very good. They only got a couple guys that are really reliable right now. So if you get into the bullpen, you can really wreak some havoc on the Dodgers right now. So with that being said, before we get to the pen, we got one more starter, and it's probably one of the top 5 starting pitchers in all of Major League Baseball right now. Ken, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. What you got on Mr. Yamamoto?
Definitely one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball. Definitely, this is going to be just like the Mizorowski-Sale matchup. Need to be in the seats. It's going to be a quick game. They both throw strikes. Yamamoto throws the kitchen sink at you. So you just cannot. You're just going to have to be probably hunting either windows or spin. Our team does not follow spin well. It's quite the hunt windows. Not trying to jump in here. Ryan may have a different approach, but he's a very tough pitcher. So I'm interested to see what Ryan says.
He's dirty, man. It's just he is nasty. I was looking at his pitch mix and I was like, oh my God, he's got pretty much every weapon you could want as a pitcher because you can get anybody out with what his pitch mix is. So with that being said, chat, here's his pitch mix. 4-seamer, sinker, cutter, curve, slider, and don't worry, yes, he has a splitter as well. So he's got the entire kitchen sink. He's got 3 fastballs that break 3 different directions. He's got a curveball that goes pretty much straight down, a slider that is a legitimate slider, and his cutter. And by the way, his cutter and slider look at like the same exact pitch until the very end. The slider completely falls off the table. So that's fun for the right-handed hitters. Righties, you're going to be attacked with a 4-seamer at the top of the zone, the sinker inside, the cutter and sliders away, and the curveballs down and away below the zone. And, oh, yeah, just to throw in one more pitch, the split. He's going to throw that below the strike zone, too. Like I said, cutter and slider play extremely well off them. So if you see one pitch, he's probably going to throw the other one right behind it. So keep that in mind if you're a right-handed hitter. Lefties, you're going to be attacked with a four-seamer at the top, split down and away, and then the curveball below the zone. Cutters will be inside, and then every once in a while with two strikes, or if it's early in the count, like he's going to try to front door a two-seamer in there to catch you looking. He does not, and that's his worst pitch, is his sinker. I mean, it's still 96 miles an hour, but it does not grade out well, and it's been hit pretty hard. So he tries to just pick spots in order to sneak that in on you guys. So this is a true pitcher. He has absolutely no tendencies. That was really the only thing I recognized was when he throws the sinker. And that's not much because I'm not really worried about his sinker if I'm one of you guys. He uses all of his pitches well and mixes them up in every single count, and he goes based off a hitter's swings, which is why he's very effective. If he sees you having an approach, he's going to go probably away from it because he can identify it pretty good. Right-handed hitters, our approach, we're going to hunt the fastball, the sinker and split window. And the reason why we're going to hunt that, fastball stays true, sinker goes in, split goes in and down. So you can kind of hunt that window. And then you're going to hunt the cutter and slider window. The reason why is because those two look extremely similar. All right, so this is going to allow you to stay on the fastball because it's going to be true through the zone. Sinker's going to run down. Split goes middle. If anything moves away starting in the fastball window, you take it because we're hunting on the outside part of the plate. You want the ball to start on the outer third. So the fastball will run right through the outer third. If it is a split, it's going to run back over the middle of the plate. And if it's a sinker, it's going to run back into you as well so you can catch it out front and do some damage on it if you recognize it. The cutter and slider, you're going to want to start inside off of the plate to the middle of the plate, belt to high thigh. Of course, in the curveball, you need to start above the strike zone to the belt, and you can go from the inside corner to the outer third because his is kind of almost a true 12-6. It's got that just straight drop. It doesn't have much movement away from the right-handed hitter. So he's got a lot of weapons. You're going to have to you can pick one of these windows if you want to, or you can pick a couple of them. If I'm a hitter, I'm really going to hunt the fastball, the sinker, and the splitter. That's going to be the window that I feel like I can do damage on because if the fastball is going here, the split's going more back middle, and then the sinker's coming into my hands, I feel like I can get to each of those three pitches while at the same time, if a ball starts in that same window and it starts breaking away from me, I can auto take it because I know it's going to be a ball. So I eliminate spin. Unless it's an obvious one that's just hanging, I'm not going to swing at it. So I think that's the best approach for right-handed hitters. And if you really stay right center field with this approach, I think you're going to have some decent success off of Yamamoto. I'm not going to say you're going to have great success. He's one of the best pitchers in the game, and if he's on, it's going to be tough to hit. Lefties, you're going to hunt the four-seamer and split window and the cutter window. And, of course, the hanging curveball if you get one of those. For the four-seamer and split, we want the ball to start belt high to high thigh, inner third to outer third. And for the cutter, we want it to start away off of the plate to the middle, belt high to high thigh. And again, for the curveball, it needs to start above the zone to the belt at the lowest it needs to start is at the belt. Otherwise, it'll go below the zone. And of course, from the outside corner to the middle part of the plate, that'll be the hanging zone that you can really do some damage on. Again, for you guys, stay left center field. He's going to be coming at you heavily with a four-seamer and split. That's 60% of what he throws. Not saying you won't see other pitches, but you really have to stay on that window, left center field, get it up in the strike zone. If you get it up, you have a chance against this guy. The split will hang if it gets up in the zone. His curveball will hang if it's up in the zone. Slider's going to hang if it's up in the zone. But if you start expanding low, it's going to be a really long day at the ballpark because he can get you with every single one of his pitches. So keep him up in the zone. I'm okay if we chase above the strike zone a little bit. It's going to happen. I don't want to see any chase away if you're a righty or lefty or below the strike zone, Ken. That is what I got on Mr. Yamamoto. I'm eliminating the bottom of the zone. I want him to get the ball up. You got anything else?
No, that's good. This is like we told you when they self-faced Mizorowski. The team gets to 3 runs in this game, they got to feel like they're going to win it. So simple as that.
100%. The only hope the Braves will have if the Dodgers score first and they can somehow get Yamamoto out in the sixth inning is they got a couple innings off the bullpen before the big guys come in. So, speaking of the bullpen, their bullpen is hurting right now. Trinan 60-day IL done. Diaz, he just got put on the IL. He's been so bad for them they said get out of here. So he's on the IL. They got a lot of pieces missing right now in that bullpen. So we had to switch it up. Tanner Scott's still in there, so we'll review him. But there is a new guy that we are covering, Ken, Mr. Edgardo Henriquez. Can you tell me about Mr. Henriquez?
My comp to Ryan was Brusdal Gratterall. I think he's got the similar stuff. Great young arm, and I like him a lot. He will be a tough ride when he comes in.
As you guys see, he can throw the fastball. His fastball touches, as you can see right there, 102 miles an hour. And, oh yeah, by the way, it's got movement. So that's always fun to deal with as a hitter. His pitch mix, four-seamer, sinker, slider, cutter, and a curveball. Righties, you're going to be attacked with sinkers coming back in on your hands and sliders away. Could have guessed that. Lefties, you're going to be attacked with the fastball at the top of the zone. Cutters are going to be coming inside. Sliders are going to be coming down and in. So righties, our approach is we're going to hunt the sinker and the hanging slider. For the sinker, we want the ball to start away off of the plate to the outer third, belly button to high thigh in height. The slider, again, in that sinker window, if you see anything that starts in that window and it breaks away, take it. It's going to be a ball. His slider has a lot of break on it, and it's hard. Just take it. You don't want to swing at any breaking ball unless it's hanging against this guy. The slider, we're going to want it to start inside off of the plate at us to the middle part of the plate, above the strike zone to the belt. Again, get it up. Keep your direction to right center field and keep him up in the zone. If you start chasing down in the zone, I know I say it a lot, but if you start chasing pitches down in the zone against this guy, he's going to eat you alive with that slider down in the zone. And you're not going to have, it's going to be a very short trip to the plate for you guys. So get the sinker up, get the slider up, and you're going to do some damage against him. Lefties, we're going to hunt the four-seam fastball and cut four-seamer window and the cutter slider window. For the four-seam fastball, we want the ball to start inner third to outer third, belt to high thigh in height. The slider and cutter, we want to start off the plate away to the middle part of the plate, above the zone to the high thigh. Keep your direction to the big part of the field and keep him at the top of the zone. I know it's hard to hit 100 miles an hour at the top of the zone, but his all speed is too good when it starts in the zone, and it looks like a lot like his fastball. So you're going to start chasing stuff away off the plate or down below the zone. Do your best to keep him at the top part. Only time you should expand low is if you can tell the difference between his four-seam fastball and his off-speed. If you can do that, then you can hunt the fastball low in the zone. If you can't, your best bet is to keep him up and maybe attack one up at the top or get a hanging breaking ball. So, Ken, that is what I got on Mr. Henriquez. Do you have anything else?
Yep, spot on. It's going to be tough.
Moving on to an old nemesis, Mr. Tanner Scott, who used to pitch for the Miami Marlins. Ken, what can you tell me about Mr. Scott?
Good news. He only has two pitches. Bad news is he throws both of them at an elite level. He's a very good pitcher, and but we have had success on him. So we've seen him enough. Let's have good approaches, and maybe we can have a comeback win if we need to.
100%. We've had success. Michael Harris, lefty, fastball outside corner, just tanked it into the Miami Park. So I will say this. I can already tell you just based off that, if you're going to start chasing him down in the zone, you're going to have a long day at the ballpark. So he has a four-seam fastball and a slider. You're going to get it at about a 50% clip. It doesn't matter which pitch it is or what side of the plate you're hitting from. You're going to see both of those pitches. Again, he's going to attack both hitters the same. He's going to tunnel the fastball and slider. He's going to try to establish the fastball away to right-handed hitters and in the lefties. This will set up the slider going inside to right-handed hitters and away to lefties. So remember, he likes to try to back foot the slider to right-handed hitters. If you remember, Ozuna taking him deep in Miami as well. It was on a slider that didn't get back foot, and he absolutely crushed him. The one tendency that he has, if a hitter's up 3-0 or 3-1 and even counts, like a 3-2 count, he tends to lean slider. I wouldn't sit slider in a 3-2 count, but you could definitely sit on his slider 3-0 and 3-1. You want the ball to start belt tie to high thigh. And for righties, on the outside corner to the middle. Again, this is going to be really good if you get that fastball on the outer third part of the plate, so middle to outside corner in that region. You can hunt the fastball there, and if his slider starts in that same quadrant, it's going to fall right into the down and in part of the plate, and you can crush it. And, of course, if you see the slider that's hanging, that starts above the zone, it's going to fall back into the middle part of the plate. You can definitely do some damage on it as well. For lefties, you're going to hunt the inside corner to the middle, so that's going to be the fastball. And if the slider starts in that area and it breaks away, you should be okay. I will say this, if it starts middle, and it starts breaking away, take it. It's going to be a ball. But if it starts more of that inner third to off the plate at you inside, and it starts above the zone to the belt, you got a really good shot of doing some damage on that. Righties, keep your direction right center field. Lefties, keep it to left center field. The two times that we've had really good success has been the homer from Ozuna, dead center. Michael Harris was left center field when he crushed it. So if you have that approach against him, you're going to do some damage. Don't give up on the ball that starts high and off the plate away, because that'll be the slider that falls right back into the middle part of the plate that you can do damage on. So, Ken, that's what I got on Mr. Tanner Scott. Don't chase down below the zone. Get him up and keep him in the strike zone, and you got a really good chance of success. You got anything else on Mr. Scott?
Michael Harris has had the most success against him because he sits fastball and let his hands adjust to the slider. And that's what he did against even Alan Ashby, and he found out the hard way. Everybody should have the same approach. Sit fastball, catch the slider up in the zone, and we can hit this guy.
Man, that was the Dodgers are beatable. I'm not going to say they're not. It's going to be hard to get two of their starting pitchers out of the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Glasnow and Yamamoto are going to be really tough. Roki is going to be, if we don't hit Roki, it's going to be like Matthew Liberatore all over again for me, because it's basically a two-pitch guy, and you got to be able to make that adjustment off the two-pitch guy. Which I will say this, Ken, I didn't drop this tidbit. Roki doesn't go deep into games. He's a five and fly type guy. So if you get him out in the fifth inning, go do some damage on that bullpen. So, but with that being said, chat, we got to do our series predictions. Ken, how do you think we do?
More I've thought about it since we did them on the recap, I'm going to give a guarantee. We're going to take 2 out of 3. And the reason why is this. Glasnow's going to be a tough ride. I don't think he's going to pitch long in the game. Rourke pitch count always gets up. He don't pitch late in the game. Yamamoto's going to pitch great, 100%. I think we're going to take 2 out of 3. It just smells like a 2 out of 3. It smells like, and then we said on the recap, Braves look like they had fun again Sunday night, and I think they're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a tough series. I think the Braves are looking forward to kind of cementing. They're still a good team to be count on, because everything I heard today from the MLB talking heads were maybe the Braves are done. So I think this is going to be they're welcoming up everybody that know, and the Dodgers are beatable. I do agree with Ryan.
Man, MLB talking heads thinking the Braves are done. Look, I know they've struggled, but it's not like they've struggled for the entire duration, right? They've struggled, fixed it, struggled. Now can they fix it again and ride into the postseason? Who knows? We'll see. I believe that they can. I'm going 2 out of 3 as well. I like that Glass. And look, I'm not saying I like that he's coming off an injury. I like it for us that he's coming off an injury, because that means his pitch count's going to be limited and we get him out of the game earlier. I hope he stays healthy for them. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I think the Braves can ride that pitch count up. If God, please be disciplined for this series. Just go back to having a good approach, guys. Get Glasnow out, get in the bullpen early, do a lot of damage on the bullpen in Game 1. That sets you up extremely well for Game 2, because Sasaki is sure as shit ain't going to throw 6 or 7 innings, and if he does, we didn't do our job. And then Game 3 is a flip of the coin. It's going to be whoever scores 2 to 3 runs, because Sale and Yamamoto are 2 of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball right now. And it's going to be a dogfight. I do even give the Braves a slight edge if they have a little bit of offense, because their bullpen is still better. it's still leaking a little bit of oil, but it's a whole lot better than the Dodgers bullpen. So I'm going 2 out of 3. Ken, who's the offensive piece that is going to give the Braves a really good series this showdown?
I really liked the whole body language, the way he played, and I've been warning about his legs. I'm going to go Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr. can hit hanging sliders. He's going to get an opportunity to do that in the first 2 games, or hanging curveball from Tyler. Yamamoto is going to be tough, but he definitely can hit the 2 guys in the bullpen as well. So I'm going to go Ronnie. I just got this feeling. The one good thing, real quick, 6-10 in the last 16. Yeah, that's bad, but we've pitched well. And these 3 guys, I think, will pitch well. And Ronnie, and I know you have a special pick to click. I think these 2 guys are going to have huge series, and I think the Braves are going to take 2 out of 3.
Chat, said I wasn't going to do it. I'm breaking my own rule. If he screws the pooch on this one, he's done forever. He's done for the year. He's going in, I don't care if we make it the postseason. I'm not picking him in the postseason. I'm going Riley. He's consistently showing me that he's been hitting the slider a lot better. He's been getting to the fastball better. He's taking more walks. Praise the heavens, he's taking walks right now. So I like this matchup for Riley. I think each of these pitchers play right into what the game plan is already going to be. Fastballs up, sliders away. That's what he's been getting a ton of, and I think if he stays with this approach, he's going to have a really good series. So I'm going to go Big Thick as my pick to click. We both predicted 2 out of 3. Ken, let's go win us a daggum series, man. You got anything else?
I hate the Dodgers.
I hate them too. And as per always, chat, fuck them for the Phillies, and we are out of here. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.